Well, good Friday afternoon. Excuse me, Friday. Jeez. Sunday afternoon, everybody. Mark Holmes here, and I've lost my cotton picking mind here. I've been on air every day live streaming, so I guess it was bound to catch up to me. I hope everybody is doing good today. Today, we are here doing our Sunday afternoon vent session. Hopefully, we don't have too much to vent about. I've got our panel that's already in the house, and I'd like to definitely get everybody's thoughts on what we did with the draft, how everybody felt. Do they think we actually helped ourselves? Did we screw ourselves? Are the Joneses just, crazy, or what is the real deal that we have with it? Are we? Are we being held hostage at the whim of a madman? Let me introduce our panel. What's up, everybody? I see Troy's face is up here first. What's going on, Troy? How you doing today? I see Vado. What's up, Vado?
What's up?
How you doing? I see Brian Green in the house. I see Jason Renfro. I see Blue Virus, Thomas Garrett. Who else is up in here? Am I missing anybody? Did I miss anybody? I guess I got everybody.
You got everybody.
Okay. How's everybody doing today? How are you feeling about the draft? I don't know if you guys heard that Sam Williams has left the building for the Dallas Cowboys. We will no longer speak the name Sam Williams. Let me explain exactly what I'm talking about. This is in his own words, the last time you will hear from Sam.
Okay, to all the fans that's listening, I want to start going by D. Williams because that's my name growing up because my middle name is D. Garrett, so everybody called me D. So when I go home, I never hear Sam. Literally ever hear Sam. So I just feel like D. Williams.
And so just to be clear, because people will tweet at you and Instagram and stuff, you want to spell it the way you have it here, right? Like D, not just the letter D, right? Like D-E-E.
No, D-E.
Okay, so just D.E. Williams. Okay, we'll put the word out.
Williams.
I'd like him to just go ahead, just drop one of the E's and just say D. I mean, he's a D end. I mean D-E, right? D end Williams.
D, something like that.
D Williams.
Yeah.
D Williams.
Yeah.
That's what we call Darren
Rico
Williams.
Dorsey, you can't hear me? I think you're the only one that's saying that. Are you sure you got your volume up? Okay. So D. Williams is what he wants to go by.
Primetime Phil?
And also coming into the house is Lynn Stacy.
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Good. How about you, Phil?
I'm trying to understand. We got one. Troy, you're kind of down in the corner of the screen, down in the bottom there, and Prime. Okay, now Phil, he fixed his. I was gonna say, Phil, he was doing the same thing. Is this like something new that I'm missing? The new trend. Let's just kind of hide out in the corner here.
Wherever they want to put me, I guess.
Yeah, I think you can drag it around.
Okay, all right. Stacy, how are you doing today?
All right, how you doing, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes, he's not here. My dad, he's back at home. Mr. Holmes.
I like your outfit.
Okay, my outfit or Stacy's?
Stacy's.
Okay,
Sorry.
I just say.
Sorry, Mark. Nothing against yours, but
I thought looking pretty fly.
It's
okay.
I like it. Looks good.
The Dallas Cowboys drive me to church so I can be forgiven for my sins because they make you commit sins.
They make me drink. Okay, I'll put it flat out there. They got me drink. I'm an alcoholic because of the Dallas Cowboys.
They have me smoking amphetamine.
Okay, all right, and they got I love weed, loving some weed over there too. So I want to get everybody's thoughts on the draft. Ruben Walls, what's up, Ruben? The first super chat of the day.
No, I didn't get to see yesterday's draft because of obvious reasons, but when I came home, I looked at the rounds 4 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
Did they keep all 5 or all 4 of their?
They did not move at all. They kept all of their picks right where they were, which was a surprise, of course, to everybody.
As I remember, we had a 7th and no 6th. Did they trade the 7th to get?
No, we never had a 7th.
No, we had a 6 and no 7.
Oh, I thought we had a 7th, no 6th. Okay.
No, we had a 6 and no 7.
Hey, Mark, Tuck kicker, I said he was a weapon. Well, if he can make some extra points and some field goals, it definitely will be a weapon. The thing I think I like about the draft, and it, you don't know, of course, most people say, well, the Cowboys, it's a C+ or a B- draft and so on. I think last year they said we were like a C or C- or something like that. So the rankings on that don't really mean anything. I think at least what they did is they looked at the needs that they truly had, and I think it seems like they really did research on the guys. Doesn't mean it'll work out, but the contact, they were all 30-day visits, pretty much almost everybody. Private workouts, you had Dak, of course, calling the wide receiver, and Dan Quinn working with Sam Williams and stuff, that I think that they felt comfortable with the people that they picked.
I think you're going to see a few of them maybe start day one, possibly. I think for the most part, they'll probably be rotational pieces too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how things go with their picks this year. I was looking at their supplemental picks that they had late last evening, early today, and there are two local players from Utah here that I really like. That center, Brian Empey, I think is his name.
Yeah,
I watched him play down at BYU. I think he can hold his own up the middle. He's a really good center. I hope the Dallas Cowboys keep him.
Well, actually, a couple of them that I'm really happy about. I'm happy about getting Jake Ferguson, the tight end. I think that he can become a security blanket. He's, I think, a decent blocker. He's not real fast, but he does break some tackles. And I did a video earlier today because, me and DMV have always been talking about 12 personnel. Most younger people don't like 12 personnel because the stigma of it is it's a running formation. But if you have the right kind of tight ends and a running back like we have of Tony Pollard, you can be strength in numbers of running the football, or you could actually shift out of that and end up being a 5 wide out offense with an empty backfield. With Tony Pollard, I'm referring to Tony as the anti-Deebo Samuels, where he's a running back / receiver, whereas Deebo is a receiver / running back. But if you have that 12 personnel, if we go ahead and have Dalton Schultz and end up having Jake Ferguson out there, and they put 8 men in the box and you got Tony Pollard back there, well, okay, you can go ahead and split one of the tight ends out or even both of them out and go to an empty backfield and put Tony Pollard outside. So now you've got 5 pass catchers in the formation, and you end up doing play action, or you end up doing, getting Dak rolling out against a bigger lineup. If they don't go into an 8 men in the box, then you run on them. So to me, that gives them a lot of options. And the interesting thing is the Cowboys since 2016 have been slowly doing less and less and less of 11 personnel and more and more of 12 personnel.
I think you can run a lot of RPO out of that formation too.
Yeah,
especially if you've got a good tight end that can block first, and then.
Well, that was the amazing, because I actually found an article in Pro Football Focus that, it's like things I believe. This article actually backed it up because the difference of play action was like 11% out of 11 personnel and like 38% out of 12 personnel. And when you think about this, because this is what actually the light bulb came on for me, is when we think about the Cowboys offense all of a sudden getting stagnant, we look at it and we say, well, Zeke Elliott, PCL, Tyron Smith got hurt and stuff. But we also don't forget it was when we ended up getting Michael Gallup back as well. And so then we started going to more 3 wide out sets between Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper, and we did a lot less 12 personnel because Dalton Schultz was also injured as well.
Any
Yeah.
year, any condition.
Oh, I get it.
You know what I mean? So this could become our bread and butter is 12 personnel.
Then into immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone.
Jason, you might want to
Okay,
turn
somebody's got
background off.
like a commercial going in the background or a movie or something.
Yeah, we could line up now. We can line up Ferguson
Yeah.
and Schultz in 12 personnel. Remember, like Schultz kept missing all them blocks
Yep.
on running plays. We don't have to throw at it. Obviously, you could run in Ferguson's side or he could slip out. It really opens up more options.
And that can really open up the offense because now you have more options. If you're in 3 wide outs, it's harder to run with 3 wide outs than it is out of 12 personnel and vice versa. So yeah, that might be one of the things that might end up being a key thing that'll really help this offense quite a bit. Definitely would help running the football with Zeke Elliott out of a 2 tight end set.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the playoff game. They ran no 12 personnel.
Right.
It would have, kept the pressure off of Dak a little bit. I was always very disappointed, with that game plan. I really was. It was obviously an issue. So more 12 personnel.
Definitely that.
Hey, by the way, Mark.
Yes, sir.
I'm seeing all of our heads are almost cut off on your Zoom.
I don't know why. I mean, I've got.
What's going on, everybody?
Let's see. How you doing? Let's see.
Hey, Mark. On a different subject, though. I like that undrafted player we got, the safety Bell. He looks really good.
Yeah, you can look at the film on almost all of those undrafted free agents right now. Any one of them, if not all of them, could be on the practice squad and do really, really well coming up and covering for injuries if they had to.
Yeah. Well, we forget that the draft used to be 12 rounds long, so I just saw where they signed the Texas Tech kicker, so we officially have a kicker in the building.
Yes.
Does anybody have any information on that kicker?
He did pretty good. He only missed one
extra point, 49 out of 50, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went 23 for 27 as a Red Raider, 15 of 16 of field goals, 100% mark inside of 50 yards, which is big.
Okay, that's not bad.
And he had a long of 62, I believe that's what they said.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sounds like the new Greg the Leg.
About it.
Well, let's hope he's better than Greg the Leg.
Well, anybody's better than Greg now.
Yeah, well, like when you see him being 100% inside of 50 yards, extra points, knock on wood.
Yeah.
You would think it would be, he's, nothing to him, but we'll see. I don't want to jinx him, but yeah.
I mean, that was a kill last year.
I know you must have a lot of questions. I know why you left, Daddy.
But definitely happy about that. So now that we've lost Sam Williams, what do you guys think about D. Williams?
You scared the hell out of me when you said we don't have Sam Williams. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yes, okay. That's I'll admit it. That was a clickbait title right there, okay?
There you go.
All right, so he wants to be known as D, okay? DeGarrett is his middle name, and that's what everybody knows him at home, and that's what he likes to be known as D. Is supposed to
He
say.
reminds me of Darren Williams when Darren Williams was with the Utah Jazz. His nickname was D. Will.
Okay, somebody's got like a movie or a TV or something on in the background, and that's what I keep hearing. It's like
unless you're talking, you just mute up.
Yeah, I don't know who has the.
You wouldn't even remember me from
Somebody, you don't remember me. I can hear the woman saying, you don't even remember me. Something. Okay. Okay, I think. Okay, there's.
You died. I would never forget yourself.
Nope, still there.
Maurice, that's Maurice.
It's Maurice.
I got out of the ocean.
Watching it. That's it. Mute.
Okay, Maurice. Yeah, okay, Maurice. I muted you there. So in the background, you got television or something going on there and stuff. So, Stacy, what did you think about the draft?
Well, I feel a little bit better now. You know, over with with the beginning a little bit, and I know you said it yesterday before you got off you ended the live stream, but I feel as well that they are preparing this team for one person and one person only, Dan Quinn. Everyone still thinks they're preparing this for Sean Payton. Sean Payton's record is no better than Mike McCarthy's. They're comparable. So, but if you look at it, the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And if Mike McCarthy has a misstep, it's over. This is going to be Dan Quinn, which I'm fine with that.
Me too.
I have no problem with that. If we get as you said, these guys, what do you call them, Mark? The big nasties.
Yeah, that's the thing. The one thing that I can definitely say about the guys that they brought in, they definitely brought in attitude and nastiness.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely got some hitters out there and guys that are going to punch you in the face. And, you know, something people haven't really started talking about much is this team is actually going to be one of the younger teams in the NFL.
They are.
When you look at the defense right now, D-Law is what, 30? I think he's the oldest, and I think Van Der Esch might be the second oldest on the defense. Am I wrong?
What about 28, 29?
Yeah. So, and Tyron Smith is probably the oldest guy that's left on the roster right now. I mean, I can't think who am I missing that might be older than Tyron Smith right now?
He's the old bunch.
And so you look at
Tyron, you got Zach.
What about Zach Martin?
Well, Zach's a year younger than Tyron.
Yeah, so you figure Tyron, Zach. They got rid of the long snapper.
Right, because he was like 36 or 37.
Yeah, McQuaid?
No, he's there. It was
Loducer.
Yeah.
So definitely a young
it's
team. It's
exciting to have a young team. It really is. I just wished, like I said yesterday, I wish they would just add in, like a honey badger. I think we all know they're not going to get them, but that would add another dynamic. I just wish they would go out and get some, if you see something, boom.
Well, a couple of things that were interesting listening to, Jerry Jones. Yeah, Coach Jerry to you guys was one of the things that you heard at the press conference with our offensive tackle. He said, yeah, just call me Coach Jerry. I was like, yeah, I bet you would like to be called coach. But he did say that they're done with the players that they got, for the offensive line. They're done getting the veteran swing tackles. And I said bum-ass veteran swing tackles because I think the problem that we have, and I think the reason why Stephen Jones is so against free agents is because he always gets bottom basement bitches. Yep, they don't go out and get some primo guys. They always end up going to get these guys that are injured or journeymen and all. And then they say, well, free agency doesn't work. It doesn't work if you don't actually try, put an effort to get people that are actually quality people. I mean, Ty Nsekhe was a journeyman that was 36 years old.
Couldn't agree more with what you just said, Mark.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you're right. It doesn't work if that's what you're going to bring in. And you think about Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe, people that were name recognizable players, but guys that were past their prime and coming off injuries. So that doesn't work.
Mark.
Well, that is. It's like, good Value Village.
Well, we really haven't had any really big smash mouth players since the '90s. Real nasty players since the '90s. So.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what's getting annoying to me is, Philly 500 is 3 hours behind me, and this morning I wake up. And here it is. I'm getting text messages from Philly 500 with pictures of Jordan Davis and stuff. And, we've got the division. It's like, you sure are counting your eggs before they hatch, aren't you?
They only picked Jordan Davis because they knew that he's about to fall to the Cowboys.
Maybe.
We weren't taking Jordan Davis.
Yeah. Probably, yeah, we wouldn't have it. That would be a dream.
I already think about that.
It would have been a dream, but it's still he was continuing to fall, and if he could continue to fall in the other, we could have had very option of picking him up.
Yeah, we could have had an option, but I don't think it was impossible. I don't think we would have picked him.
Listen, you heard Jerry in his press conference. He told that big dude we got out of Arkansas. Yeah. We normally don't draft guys like you.
No, we don't. They never listen. Quentin. Baltimore was a surprise that we took him. I think he's 6th or 7th last year.
I think he was a 6th.
Yeah, the fact that we took him was unusual, and to get
but I'm
John Ridgway.
That's Dan Quinn, Mark. That's Dan Quinn's influence on the team. And I'm not going to complain because how many times do we come up to, like we watch a game.
Oh, every
Dallas
time.
Can't run the ball.
And we can't stop the run.
No, but like we always face a team that's got
Avita Vey, Anamakin Sue, and Aaron Donald.
It makes the game so much easier to play when you have a guy in the middle that could take on 2 guys. And then
keep your linebackers clean. And, I would love to see Micah Parsons out on defensive end. I think he can bend the edge like crazy. But this move right here may prolong his career to be able to make him that wild card. He'll be able to be, play that middle linebacker. He'll be able to creep up on the line. And, McQuaid, if he can just occupy space, and you end up having, Micah Parsons right there beside him, oh, man, they're going to split that gap. He's going to be right back in the backfield waiting for the quarterback to get back there. That's going to be actually, I think our defensive front is going to be actually really, really good with the rotation of guys that we have.
But you look at it, too. We drafted Devin Lloyd's linebacking mate out of Utah, Mika. Oh, my gosh. I can't remember his last name, but he was a good one too. However, Devin Lloyd, if they were doubling Devin Lloyd, Mika came through and stopped the run. No, it's not Fitz. It's not Fitzpatrick. It's
Damon. No, you're not talking about Damon Clark.
No, it's Mika out of Utah. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. I'll give you his last name here real quick.
Not Devin Harper.
No.
Out of Utah? A linebacker that we drafted this year?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
The linebackers we drafted were
Devin. He's looking, I am excited about all the undrafted free agents that we did sign.
Yeah.
I know Philly.
Was Bell.
Yeah, well, Philly is salty about Bell because he was talking with them.
Yeah.
I live right outside of Philly in South Jersey. He's 6'2", runs a 4.4, and he was draftable. Why he wasn't, I don't know, but that's good for us. And we signed 2 centers. It's like we got Lindstrom.
Yeah,
Lindstrom, that was a big one.
That's a big one. Hey, Tyler Biotish. You either put on some more muscle, or you're going to be a backup.
Yeah.
Okay, it was Mika Tafua. Guy, I couldn't remember his last name.
We didn't draft him. You mean free agent signing?
He's the free agent signee out of Utah.
Undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
He really.
That's why you threw us off. We're like.
I was like, we only drafted 2 linebackers because.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I should have said undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
I thought I said that, but Mika, boy, whenever they were teaming up on Devin Lloyd, Mika was sure there to clean it up as well.
Well, it's definitely a different tone on this show than our past Sunday shows. I haven't heard anybody say "screw Stephen Jones" once today.
Oh, the clown.
Still early, Mark.
I'm just saying we're 25 minutes in, and nobody is like "screw the front office" yet. Oh boy!
Him the clown now because he runs the team like a circus.
Well, they still are circus. Well, and back to what I was originally talking about, 12 personnel. It may be part of the reason why they also looked at getting rid of Amari Cooper was because they are going to run 12 personnel more. And they looked at it and said, You really need 2 really good wide receivers and you need 2 good tight ends. And then, why are you going to pay another one? And viewing Michael Gallup as a cheaper alternative for down the road being the deep threat, and CeeDee Lamb, of course, being the guy that's more dynamic. He's definitely the one that's going to sell jerseys. I don't know how many jerseys Amari Cooper sold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? CeeDee Lamb, on the other hand, when he does CeeDee Lamb is the show, right? And that's, of course, being the Cowboys, it's all about the show. Amari Cooper is the lunch pail guy that, here's the ball. He's not going to do a whole lot that's going to get you excited.
I really do like the wide receiver we got in, I think it was the second round or
Third round. Jalen Tolbert, which was a surprise that Dak Prescott. I heard, actually was reading earlier too, that Dak Prescott actually talked to quite a few of prospects that the Cowboys were looking at to kind of get where their mind and stuff was. So he is part of the process of figuring out who was in, who is a guy that's going to fit in. Lola says, guys, please respect the ladies in here. That's for damn sure, because the ladies are very, very important in here. In fact, you'll see most of them have a wrench, which they will have no problem beating you upside the head with. So you've been warned. I'm going to tell you, you've been warned, because a lot of them know a hell of a lot more in football than most of the guys up in here. Just saying.
Exactly. Not to mention some of the guys will come to that have the wrench will come to their defense too.
It must be some Eagle fans, because see that they're not used to. They're intimidated by women, so they come through and they just kind of say all kinds of crazy things. Come on, y'all don't get out your basement too often, do you? Don't know how to act when you get around a woman. Damn.
Hey, you better be calling your son up on that.
Say what?
I missed it, Mark.
Son up on that, Billy.
Yeah, there you go.
What happened with the ladies?
Oh, no, somebody was disrespecting some of the ladies. I didn't see who it was. I just saw Lola was saying, watch it there. Be careful with disrespecting the ladies and stuff. Originally, I started actually doing the whole ladies' night and stuff on that because I remember somebody, I think it was Miss Jackie, they said, shut the F up and go make me a sandwich. And I was like, no, man, you don't disrespect the ladies like that. And so that's why I made sure to make a point of letting the ladies know that they're very welcome. Because, the man cave down here gets a little bit beefy when it's all the guys. Ladies come in with a little bit of perfume and make the place smell a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
Yeah, okay, right.
They brought us men into this world. They can take us out easily, too.
They're always taking us out. You got that shit right. But Linda, your mic is muted. And I don't see a camera on you and stuff. Welcome to the chat. Okay, so what's the worst move that the Cowboys did in the draft? Because I haven't heard anything negative from anybody.
Mark, but what about now? I'm like you. I'm busy and I'm working, so I really don't know anything about college players. The only thing I look at, like you, is this Dallas Cowboy football. So I guess we're all going to have to go over to Law Nation's channel and look at his film breakdowns or some him and
Law and Vosh and all that. Well, or you listen to Primetime Phil, Brian Green, or Troy Daniels, because all three of them definitely know their stuff. In fact, I have to give a shout out and a special thank you for those guys, because they made my job easy during the draft, because I could go to them and say, hey, what do you know about these guys? So shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was just like all the information you got kind of just got gathered. It was just able to, to blurt it all out. It was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not easy doing what you do, Mark, especially for 7 hours. So
it always helps to have somebody.
Anything we could do to help, buddy.
I tell you what's amazing to me, because I remember going to Dallas and doing the draft, and when we were there, that's when I met Vosh Lombardi, and him and I did, sitting side by side doing the draft and everything else together.
Man, Vosh knows his stuff.
And I said right there, I said, dude, you need to be working for somebody. I said, your shit together, and that was a great experience doing it.
Now he's working with Colin Cowherd or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Cowherd.
But I will say that working with you guys, Primetime, Brian, and Troy during the draft, it was that same comfort level that I had there with Vosh. So, like I said, you guys did a great job.
Appreciate that, man. Definitely. Yeah, it was fun working with you guys, especially Brian and Troy. And yeah, everything was fun. A lot of great conversations.
So here's an interesting.
I love the draft.
Here's an interesting thought here because we've got Matt. Waletzko. That's it.
Well,
I keep saying like Wallet Clo. Okay. What do you guys think? How good do you think he's going to be? I mean, do you think there's any chance that he ends up playing guard?
No. He looks like he's too tall. I'm a little sketchy on that pick, but he's just tall. I mean, how many tall guys?
Yeah, he gave up no sacks last year, so it's like it's some of the stuff, and even watching some of his Senior Bowl stuff. I mean, he is impressive. I mean,
he looks good.
He does look good. Gain some weight. It just even with the Senior Bowl when he's going against higher competition, he still looked really good. And again, you don't want to get your hopes up with every single pick because it's just like they're not all going to work out.
And they're not all going to make the team.
Yeah, but man, he looks good. He looks like he needs to put some weight on to be able to handle some of these guys. But I don't know, man. He looks really good.
Personally, I think looking at him, if you could stick him out at, tackle, I guess it is.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be a tackle.
He has to be a tackle
because his weaknesses are like getting late off the blocks and being able to get to the next level. So,
and you need that as a guard.
That screams guard, and you can't do that. But if you actually watch Foots, I mean, that guy was on him from the beginning. Like he was months ago, he was talking about Matt, and he was talking about how he was very high on him, and yeah, he has a lot of film on him, and man, that was and so that's kind of some of the stuff I started watching with him, and then with that Senior Bowl, man, he wasn't allowing sacks even with the Senior Bowl stuff.
Exactly. I think he's well built for a tackle. I mean, he reminds me a little bit of Flozell Adams, to be honest with you.
Just doesn't have the attitude. Just a big pterodactyl looking dude. Just like just big, huge arms. Just
this kind of tells me that he groomed to play left tackle.
Yeah,
I mean, it gives him a lot of options. I don't think he can play guard. Is he going to play right tackle if Steele doesn't? Yeah.
Well, this was an interesting thing that I read when I was looking. You go through and try to read everything you can about the players and stuff. Somebody was saying with Tyler Smith that they were hoping that Tyler Smith could be the bookend to Tyron Smith, and I was like, bookend. I'm like, I'm okay with Terrence Steele. We didn't have any problems. We never talked about the right side when he was playing the right side at tackle.
Yep.
I think that he is locked in there at that position. My bigger question is who's going to be the guard? Is it going to actually be Tyler Smith? And then are we looking at Josh Ball being the backup for Tyron Smith along with Matt Waletzko?
Well, that's the thing about it, is when you look at these guys and when they say, hey, we're done with the swing tackle, are they talking about just the veteran swing tackle?
I mean, you think
a swing tackle?
When you think of the Tynesekis, the Cam Irvings, and
going to actually have a backup to the true position. Like, okay, you're the right tackle backup and you're the left tackle backup, and that's how it is.
Trouble is,
the question.
I think you look at it, Dallas wants to groom him as whatever,
to be a swing.
All line positions. They don't care if they're good 1, 2, 3, whatever technique they have. They want to groom them so that they can slot them in wherever they need them on that line.
This goes to Mark's point where I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but if these guys pan out, then the Tyron is expendable. I don't know about you.
Well, you have to look at Tyron. You can't look beyond. You can't look beyond this year for Tyron Smith. I mean, every year you've been dealing with it. How long are you going to continue to say, well, maybe this year he's going to stay healthy? If you haven't been able to stay healthy for 3 straight years, I'm not betting on the 4th is all of a sudden the one you're going to.
Yeah, a lot of the scouts like Tyler Smith as a guard. So if this other guy works out, it could be. It could be really, really good.
Yeah.
So
we need a big old nasty.
If you can have Tyron Smith for 12 games, that you got.
You're doing good then. At this point, 12 games would be good.
I don't think he lasts.
If we can get him for 12 games, it'd be great.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can get him for 10.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, if you got him for 12 games, you're actually ahead of the game because I'm not counting on him to be there. That's why I think you've got to start thinking we really have to have somebody good behind him. And, you saw Ty Nsekhe. He came in for the first game that he got injured in. He didn't come back out there the rest of the season. That's how bad he played. And it's just like, why are you bringing these same guys? Because we ended up getting Cam Irving from New England and stuff and figured, he's going to be a guy. No, and it's just the same thing. And you replaced him with Ty Nsekhe. So, yeah, I'm kind of done with some of these old guys.
It's funny, though, these guys that are coming through are still starters at other teams. They're still quality starters for other teams. They're just, unfortunately, not good enough to stack up against the people that are along this line. So.
Yeah. This is true. And it goes to tell you how the lack of depth there is in starting players out in the league.
Jared said he wanted centers that could play guard as well, but when they went into undrafted, they got 2 centers that are just centers. So that was interesting. They're obviously happy with the center position.
I mean, the center thing is if you take a center and you put him to a guard, he's just not hiking the ball. He's doing the same exact thing.
Basically,
he's just not hiking the ball. So I
Yeah,
mean,
but
he's the field
Lindstrom is only a center. He's not a guard.
Yeah, you can't take these centers and make them guards or tackles.
Yeah, you take Lindstrom, you leave him in there, and you put him as the a backup type.
Yep,
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the reason why you end up not taking a Linderbaum, and you end up taking. Linderbaum is probably a better player for center, but if you have a good guard next to Tyler Badish, it's not so bad. He won't be quite as bad. If you got a bad guard and a bad center, then you've got big problems because that's the weakness of your offense.
When you saw Tyler Smith, any of his video and stuff like that, when he did not have a man, when a guy would come and then they would back out, he didn't stop and wait and look around. He immediately saw the first person, he hit them.
Yeah.
And even if he was already guarded by somebody, he just hit them.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see that he just didn't stand there and just like, all right, well.
Yeah. My job is done. It's like, let me find some more work to do in here.
And that's the one thing I like about Tyler Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I like that aggressiveness because that's something that we need. We need to bring that back. He said in his press conference, he said, hey, look, it ain't no, I'm not a nice guy. Hey, this is who I am.
Yeah, we need backups because of not because of injury, but just possible getting kicked out of the game because of the attitude. So that's why we need backups.
Not to mention, you can make them good rotational pieces too.
Yeah,
to spell the starters. I mean, give them that opportunity. Maybe their first year. Let them spell the starters, and then work their way into a starting role. You don't. I
would say that. Looking at all the picks, we couldn't have asked for anything more than what happened yesterday. Like this last 3 days.
I would like to think that I would mess that up. I think I would.
It was very impressive to hear them say, "Well, we had these guys," and let's listen, not to bring it back down to fantasy football, but when we do our fantasy drafts, we look at, okay, I want this guy. When can I get him? They got all their guys that they wanted, and I'm really excited about Davis out of LSU.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a stud, and with him and the LSU guy that they got last year.
Yeah,
with Parsons, I mean, he's not going to go right away. Yeah, Davis.
Now, Isaac Martinez says if Tyron actually does play a full season and plays well, then what? What do you mean, then what? Yeah, I would love for that to happen. I would love to have that problem that Tyron Smith all of a sudden is a healthy man again and so on. Then that means we have some extra depth then on the team because or you trade him.
Oh.
But while he's got a good streak going on, that's when you trade him. See?
Yeah, he's 29, I think. He started young.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he started when he was 20. He started when he was 20.
I mean, ideally, you're probably looking at Tyler Smith being guard, and if Tyler Smith ends up going to becoming your tackle, then you still need a guard again. So
how many times do we have a big game and you see Tyron on the sidelines? As a matter of fact, of the game that me and Mark went to in Washington D.C., I think he was on the sidelines of that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we won, but it gets tiring seeing your stars on the sideline.
But even some of the games that he came back from injury because he wasn't really healed, he wasn't the same guy.
Right.
And see, this is where I'd like to see the Cowboys just, if you've drafted a guard, leave him at guard. Don't try and make him a tackle. If that player may not have played tackle in college. He may not know what to do as a tackle. Well, you've got to leave these guys where their natural position is.
I think it's easier to be a tackle and become a guard than it is to be a guard to become a tackle.
Exactly. So I think they need to leave Tyler at guard. Don't mess with him. Let him.
Well, he was actually he was a tackle.
Or is he a tackle?
He's a tackle and he says, "I'll do whatever it takes, that my team needs me to do." But ultimately, I'm a tackle.
But I still think that they should leave these players right where they're at, where they drafted them.
Yeah.
Rather than try and
But that's not the Cowboys' way. That's where they took Keanu O'Neal. Let's make him a linebacker.
Yeah.
Let's take Zach Martin was a tackle, and we made him a guard, and so on. They're forever taking somebody and trying to convert him into something else.
If you think about it, that was a mistake that we made when we did that to Lyle Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a left guard when he came to Dallas.
Yeah. And I think he was a great guard. That first year that he played guard, seeing him pull and taking two people out on pulling. Look at this.
Well,
I'm sick. I'm sick. Look at this. Here we go again.
Running back.
Philly 500 sending me more pictures of Jordan Davis. We're coming for your meats.
Gotcha.
Hey, let him come for your meats.
I'm happy that he's sniffing himself.
I tell you what, don't let him be a bust. Don't let him be. I will play the clip of them going crazy and him doing the white rerun. Dancing on that.
They're talking winning I'm hearing the radio stations around here, they're winning the division.
Oh, they've already
back.
It's not even going to be close. According to that, it's not going to be close.
Yeah, get the
Let
media
them run their mouth, and then we still win a division. This will be the first time since when?
2004.
That the scores were like 40 something to like
2003, 2004 was the last time.
Difference of 30 points.
Yeah.
Ultimately, these are all still just rookies. They're not going to come in and be superstars. So
I can't say
Micah Parsons.
Not to mention they still have Jalen Hurts.
Prescott.
I would say that we're the type of fans that can look at another team and say, you know what, you guys did good job in the draft. Good luck. We'll see you on the field.
Yeah.
The Eagles, or the fans, I should say, that's not how they roll. If they're good, you suck, you're done, and then when you beat them, it's always
But
an
you got
excuse.
lucky, every excuse.
Oh, we had so and so injured during the game, and we couldn't finish.
Injuries are a part of the game. You're never going to have a full squad, which was
What's
why
that,
it was upsetting last year.
500.
Because
we
were
really
healthy.
Set himself up for a meltdown. I'm telling you.
Oh man, he's writing some checks now.
Yeah,
he's writing some checks between him and Dean.
Is setting himself up.
What happens when Jordan Davis goes down with an injury the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, they got plenty of D.
We got Dougie Fresh in the house. Da 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 da. What's good? Got you, Dougie Fresh. What do you guys think about John Ridgeway?
Right. No, this is what the
I like that pick.
John Ridgeway.
You know what?
Good.
What, Tom?
I heard some things last night about Ridgeway.
Uh-huh.
I heard that this dude is crazy. And that's what we need on our
Did you see his interview?
line.
Did you see his interview?
No.
I saw it.
It was funny. It was really good. He was ready to already kill some enemies here, and
He's
so
gonna break somebody's neck.
He's gonna break somebody's neck, and they're like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I was like, I hope the Eagles are the first team.
He's a big, nasty player.
Yeah, man,
And you know what? And we need that. And you want me to tell you who that's gonna help out the most? Parsons.
Yeah.
Gonna help out Parsons the most.
Just like the Cowboys.
Oh, definitely. But see, you have to understand. You have to understand, though, being a nose tackle or a nose guard takes a special crazy mother humper because you get hit from so many. You don't understand. Okay, most fans don't really pay attention to anything other than the quarterback and where the ball went or watching the running back. If you really want to see violence, watch the play on the line and specifically watch what happens to the defensive tackle, the nose tackle, and where you're getting double teamed and you're getting hit from the side, you're getting hit in the hips and the legs.
Those D tackles get hit left and right.
Yes, Beto.
You're gonna agree with what I'm about ready to say.
What's that?
See, the interior defensive linemen, they don't get no glory. They don't get all. You ain't gonna see them on the commercials every 5 minutes.
Mm-mm.
They're setting everything up for the LBs and the DBs.
Yeah. Now, do you guys? Most people don't understand. There's a chop zone. Do you guys know what a chop zone is? Okay, the chop zone is it's okay to hit a guy in the knees. Okay, and that's basically from the tackle to the tackle, and then back, to where the quarterback would be setting up for a shotgun. Okay, in that area, it's legal to hit below the knees, and you get combo box. You get the high low where you've literally got. You're engaged with the guy, and the next guy comes in and hits you in the hip and stuff to try and blow you out of there. Those double teams get to be vicious. And see, you've got to be able to feel that pressure.
Those deep in the tackles.
Yeah, you've got to your job is just to plug the hole. You're not getting any glory. You're going to get a few tackles. You might get a sack from time to time. But most of the time, your job is take two guys out and keep the linebackers clean so that way they can make the plays.
Best at it, at that chop block, and always got away with it. Eric Williams.
Yep.
Boy, he knew how to do it and get away with it.
Keith Floyd, that was the most sound draft I've seen in Dallas in many years. It wasn't about selling jerseys. Yes, team building. I have to agree with that one too, because that was definitely the meat and potatoes draft where you get the guys that are actually doing all the dirty work.
Eric Williams, he used to get Reggie Whitehill with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, Phil called Ridgeway. He brought his name up early yesterday. And I'm excited that we're going to this style of defense rather than getting undersized linemen that are actually trying to rush the passer. I need our guys in the middle to keep the pressure off the linebackers and stop the run.
We got there.
I mean, and that pick there, I was watching because I really didn't know much about him other than what other scouts were saying. He is nasty. Yeah. Did you hear his interview? He wants to rip off people's heads. I'm like, all right, thank you.
I liked what he said when he was talking about meeting Jerry. He was like, because I told Jerry, you're going to draft me, and I'm going to be the center of your franchise. And I was like, oh, nice, I like that.
Yeah, and Jerry made a comment like, well, we don't. I don't think he made it to him, but he said we don't draft, people like that. But that tells you what they feel of the defensive coordinator. Like, if I was Mike McCarthy, I would be winning this year. Because if not, I think you're out.
Okay, this was the secret audio. Actually, I hadn't heard this.
Hello, may I speak to Big John, please?
Yeah, this is John.
This is a cowboy with a pig suey call for you. I got somebody who wants to talk to you.
I love it. Secret audio. There ain't no secret audio.
You old Razorback, I want to put a star on that helmet. Alongside
Sounds good to me. I'm with it for sure.
I tell you one thing, I would hope that joining the Cowboys as a Razorback was as good to you and as it has been for this Razorback to have been with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm ready for sure.
Hey, it
Just
works.
ready to win a Super Bowl, man. We ain't getting no. That's what we're winning, man.
That's it. I'll tell you what, you put these pigs with the Cowboys, you can tear their ass up.
Sounds good. I'm thinking be after.
Hey, well, we're fixing to turn your card in.
Tear that ass up.
Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, John, congratulations. This is Mike McCarthy. Hey, how's it going? You having a
Pretty
little fun?
good, man. Yeah, I've been waiting. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, sorry
Excited to get back into Dallas.
Absolutely. Well, hey, sorry for the long wait. Obviously, a phenomenal moment for you and your family. So enjoy it, and we look forward to getting you down here. And once again, I think you're a great fit for not only as a player but for our locker room and our D line.
Wow!
So, congrats. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm ready for sure.
We're pumped to get rolling with you, brother.
Okay, so prior to him,
I'm excited for sure. It's going to be fun.
He wants to tear some ass up.
He needs to.
You know what, Mark?
Oh yeah.
You know
Yes,
what,
sir.
Mark?
Yeah, what's that?
I love that. I love that. We haven't had a defensive lineman with attitude since Charles Haley, your boy. We need some attitude. This was an attitude era. This was an attitude draft for us.
Yeah.
And I was even told that our free agents that we signed, I heard they got attitude too.
Mhm.
So this is gonna be. I've been saying this since last year. This is the attitude era.
It's gonna get chippy during training camp.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of people fighting for jobs.
No, pardon my language, Mark, but no more of that golf club. No more of that golf club shit.
Mm-hmm.
No more of that golf club junk.
I have to agree with you on that one.
It's going to get real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I heard his interview on 105 for the Fan. That's where he said that he just can't wait to get in there and rip off some necks or break necks. He said, "I can't wait to break some necks," and they were laughing. But
Just like the Cowboys
he's a big
selected
dude,
John
man.
Ridgway as their most recent draft pick. They did so at pick number 178 in the 5th round, and he is now on the line with us on 105.3 The Fan and DallasCowboys.com. John, congratulations. Arkansas to Texas. It's not a long trip for you, but it's still a huge step forward and a dream come true, I'm sure.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm excited for the next chapter of my life to be able to play at the highest level of football.
Hey, John, we got it tipped off that everybody was there. You're going to get picked because everybody had their plastic hog hats on in the war room. Is that? Did you send those ahead to everybody? I mean, to start the day. I mean, Jerry and Steven, they all had these plastic hog hats on. What the heck was that all about?
We're some diehard hogs. I mean, what can you say?
Well, they're gonna be. They were calling the hogs when you were picked. Trust me on that, man. But congratulations. I was a scout for a long time in this league. You're like an old school, like hard-nosed slugger inside defensive tackle. I love to watch the way you play, the way you kind of beat up on centers and guards. I hope you come to the NFL and do the same damn thing you did at Arkansas.
Well, I don't plan on getting no back seat in the NFL. I plan on getting in that driver's seat and taking off.
There you go.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like that, and you can see that
See
on
what
the
I'm talking
film.
about,
I mean,
Mark?
you are a next level. You kind of play with an edge, and that's something that we've talked about with this draft class
you
so
thought I played
far.
with the edge then. Wait till I get in the league.
Hey, I love this already.
like
You're already one of my
attitude,
favorite
baby.
calls of the week. So tell me where that edge comes from. Why do you play with such a gritty mentality, and how are you going to bring that to the league?
Just because I know what I'm capable of, and I know there's a lot of people out there that voices carry over mine that like to talk about the negative aspects of my game. I just try to focus on what I can control, and that's tackling people, making plays.
That's it,
That's what I
tackling
want to
people.
do. I'd rather that speak than me go out on the internet or Twitter and start talking crap,
Damn.
Anything for him?
Yeah, it's got to be a good. That's a good attitude to have.
I'll tell you what, man. Like
You're speechless now, Dave. I'm surprised.
I'm blown away. Like this is a really fun interview, man. I appreciate.
Wow.
Hoka Coochie, who are you? Timing out people, Mark, who are your mods. 500 mods would never. Well, why don't you take your ass back out to Philly then? Shit. Coming in here complaining.
You're in the wrong neighborhood.
I mean, seriously. I tell you what. I tell you, Hob Coochie or Killy or whatever the frick you are. How about this one? How about you go ahead and take your ass and have a seat? Because I didn't ask you.
I remember asking you a goddamn thing.
How about that one?
Yeah, you on the wrong side of the hood, son.
We all have busy lives. We choose to be here. We want to be here.
Philly would never. Well, carry your ass on back to Philly.
Yeah, you on the wrong side of the hood, son.
Yeah, he's probably my neighbor.
I think because somebody was saying, or Alicia, I don't know why Alicia's up in here, trade Dak. It's like, why? Seriously? We sit here talking.
Jeffrey Campbell
Seriously,
he's like, I'm a true fan. Pump the brakes on the season. It's like, if you're a true fan, at what point do you think, like, okay, they got a couple of draft picks. You think all of a sudden Philly is going to win another 7 or 8 games to go ahead? I mean, I just don't see that.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
You remember
12 games? We
won
12 games.
I'm old enough to remember when they said
we got a little bit worse, but with the draft, you don't know what those guys are going to be. Obviously, you don't know what Phillies are going to be. I mean, it looks really good on their side, but what else do they fill it with? I mean, they got occasionally 1 or 2 guys. They brought back some dudes. It's like, yeah, you're bringing back your guys, but they weren't doing that great during the season to stop guys. So,
what did I miss?
Now you got some Philly people.
Well, you
Philly
missed
lovers.
that Philly's excited they got an undrafted quarterback. So Philly's.
I'm
Philly's
happy
getting
for the
better.
Eagles, but they ain't doing shit this year. Sorry.
I'm old enough to remember that last year they were talking about how good Washington was going to be this year.
Yeah, who was that, Mark? Who was running their mouth saying that they were going to win a division? There's the talking head.
I mean, the talking heads, some of them had, the Giants have taken a great step forward, and the Giants are getting better. The Eagles, they're going to be. Actually, most people actually had the Eagles. I think actually in the basement, they thought that Washington was going to win, we would be second, and the Giants would be third. So you don't know. I mean, we do know that typically the winner in the NFC East comes back down to earth. This is a fact. The last time anybody won back-to-back titles, and this is including Super Bowl seasons, was 2003, 2004. So I'll make, that preface that, it's going to be hard, and people will say the Cowboys took some steps back, losing Randy Gregory and Amari Cooper. But Amari Cooper last year had 860 yards receiving, and Randy Gregory had 6 sacks. 6.5
I thought
sacks.
about this, Mark, and I understand what everybody's saying, but we lost some players. We're not coming back with the same team.
No,
we lost some players, and we added a lot of youth.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're coming back with the same team.
Exactly. And are those rookies going to impact like last year's rookies?
It could go the other way.
And will some of those
if we
players,
go with what we're hearing, watch out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And will some of those players that we had last year take another step forward? I mean, you look at the difference of, even though he's probably the most trashed player in the NFL, the difference of Diggs as a rookie versus a second year. Do we look and say he may even get even better next year? Do we look and say that Micah Parsons was a rookie last year, and now that he's got some other people around out there that he doesn't get better next year? Do we look at a guy like, say, OC, and say OC played pretty good as a rookie? Now he's got another year of working with Dan Quinn.
Well,
what is he going to do?
This is his second year, right, Mark?
No, this will be his second year. He was a rookie last year. Right.
That's what I mean. He's going to get stronger, like in that weight program.
Yeah, and the same thing with Novell Gallimore, who missed most of the season with the hyperextended elbow. That you look at some of these guys and say, okay, they should be a little bit better than they were last year.
No more Dante Repose, and no more.
There's nobody old on there.
I could see this team having a worse record, but being a better team. It's it's
well, because we're gonna that's what
you have
it'll
younger.
be
You're going to be getting
schedule.
better. You got hey, I mean, some people aren't sold on Dak, but I mean, I think he's a better leader than what a lot of teams have, and they would give up everything to get him. And
Look
you
at
can
the
say
NFC
no,
this
they
year.
wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they would. Yes,
they would.
Okay,
they would line up.
But hold on, let's back it up here, because all these people that like Alicia trade Dak, trade him for what?
Yeah,
what, are we going to get Jimmy Garoppolo? You want a Baker Mayfield?
Trade him, and we can't.
It's all like, you trade him for Aaron Rodgers, both teams have to agree on the trade, and they don't just trade over. Like, you got to pay money now, and it's so much negative stuff that goes with it. It's just,
let me say this much. If you do, hypothetically, if the Cowboys say, let's go ahead and have gotten Russell Wilson or Matthew Stafford, so would you be willing right now to give up CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Tyler Smith to get a quarterback? Because that's what you're talking about. Basically, 3 number ones to get like a Russell Wilson. Would you be willing to give up CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Tyler Smith.
Listen, that stuff never works, Mark.
That's what I tried. And everybody's like, "Oh, you just love Dak." It's like, no, it's just hypothetically, exactly. Terry Lee, I'm sorry, I meant to answer your question. Shout out to you, Terry. I got you on the other. You ended up winning one of the prints like this one. In fact, Terry, since you've done that one, I was going to send you one like Troy has, but you're going to get the game used draft one that's right here. Terry, that's I'm gonna give you that one. So that one has been seen here for 3 days. Shout out to Terry Lee.
So let me pose this question to you then.
What's that?
Who do you think in the NFC East has the worst sophomore slump? Their second-year players this year.
I'm hoping it's not Micah Parsons.
Tooney? Because you don't know where he's going to be. It's hard to say. I mean, how many of them were stars? Like,
yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Maybe
Devontae Smith. Okay, he wasn't, lights out.
How much of a transition is New York, the Giants, actually going to do? How much is Washington going to be really better? I think they'll be a little bit better than obviously last year.
Who was Washington's first round pick last year? I don't even remember.
I think we won all 6 division games, didn't we, last year?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so if we win 4, we're still good. Listen,
exactly.
Division games it's not normal to sweep. It's just not.
No, exactly. So I think Philly is, if anything, the threat of anything. So that's always how it is. Just like with Philly, if they're really good, we're still the threat as well too. It's just
comes
never
down
out
to
of the competition.
Exactly. It comes down to winning the games that we have to win. Okay, win your home games and win the games you're supposed to win. You're always going to lose games, even back in the Super Bowl days, Tom.
Not as bad as we did. Beat up on them.
If you ask me, I think Devontae Smith is the one that's going to have the sophomore slump, and I'm going to tell you why.
That's a good one. That's actually a good one.
That's what I said, Devontae.
He's going to have the sophomore slump because they brought in A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown is
another receiver, too, didn't
away from him.
Yeah, and the bigger question is,
and they got Pascal out of Indy,
right? And the question is, can Hurts get the ball to him?
Yeah, that's right. You are right.
They didn't draft offensive line. Not one of their draft picks was an offensive lineman, if I remember.
Yeah.
How in the heck?
And their secondary is not that good. Did they draft secondary?
They didn't.
Much. They didn't draft there either.
Corner.
Yeah, their secondary is not good.
They got a corner, but like any rookie, you're not going to come in.
Yeah.
Unless you're.
Which
Ramsey didn't come in his first year. It was lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Which NFC division are we playing this year? Is it the North?
It's the North.
The North and the AFC South.
You take Green Bay and their pass rush against Philly's offensive line. Jalen Hurts is going to be running for his life.
Well, he's going to run for his life against us.
Exactly.
He's already under enormous pressure. Everybody and their mother knows that they have 2 number 1 picks next year because the QB draft is supposed to be that much better. Okay, but now you're going out and signing A.J. Brown. Where do you think you're going to be drafting, Philly? You're going to be right in the middle of the draft. So, your 2 number 1s may not be able to get you up at the top of the draft. So, either be bad.
Because it was the Saints, right? It was the Saints that they traded with that other person.
The Saints are going to win 8 games this year. I don't care what you say. They're going to win 8 games.
Exactly.
So,
not to mention they got to deal with Tampa Bay's front line. Oh no, that's their south.
I think they tend to forget that we won the division and they snuck into a wild card. And it's like,
they did.
We got knocked out in the same rounds and stuff. Yeah, I get it, but that part, we got in differently.
Yeah, well, Phil, that's like you say, we may not have as good a record, but we're going to win a division. That's just my opinion right now, unless we have some major injuries. Even if we don't, it doesn't matter. Look at the Niners. Let's just play the right way. Let's stop the run, and we'll actually win a playoff game.
Amen on that one. Well, yeah, and the whole NFC. Let's think about it though. Regardless of the 49ers saying they don't want to trade Debo seems to be hell bent on getting the hell out of Dodge.
Dude, did you see that video in the club?
Yeah, he was like, nope. He's like, I'm out of here. And 49ers said that they've turned down great packages and stuff because they don't want to trade him, but he does not seem like he is going to play for them.
He doesn't want to play them.
And they're still planning on trading Jimmy G.
I see the Niners taking a step back.
So,
I really do. Jimmy G is not going to be ready for the start of the season.
And the Rams could be a Super Bowl hangover.
Well,
Green Bay doesn't have Devontae Adams. You got Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay, well...
I still think the Rams are the ones.
Tampa Bay's getting older, too, with some of those guys in that team. Ndamukong Suh's and stuff.
I think we're facing the Rams in the Thursday night first game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's just Micah.
Why is it a Super Bowl champion?
We should do a schedule release live stream. That'll be cool.
There you go. That'd be nice. Then we could pick our brains on that one. But I think Dallas.
Oh Lordy, Philly, hold on. See, hold on, guys. Here's the thing that's funny. Philly 500's just texted me again and says we are better than Dallas. Our only question is Hurts, which is a fair question. Best O-line in football, and we took Cam Jurgens. That's what I'm talking about.
Just hurts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Here we go. Here you go. Bowles just got released by Chicago. They could take him back if they wanted to.
Yeah,
he got released. He got released yesterday.
Yeah,
that's all he needs is to have Nick Foles in the wings. You saw that how that worked out.
I think I need to do a video about that.
Tell Philly when he can stop our 50 burger.
Oh Lordy,
he can be better than us.
They have a statue in Philly. I shit you not, with Nick Foles.
Yeah,
they love him.
Well, that statue was right outside the stadium, which I was kind of like, they screwed up Carson Wentz. I mean, how would you? I equate it to this. How would you feel like if your girlfriend had a picture of her old boyfriend on the nightstand? Every time,
very good.
Every time you go to bed, you look at a picture of him like, okay, yeah, all right. How would that make you feel? Because that's what he had to do. Here I am going past the statue of Nick Foles.
They caught lightning in a bottle that year.
They did.
They really they just got on a roll, which is going back to what Phil said. You don't have to be, like 12-5. You don't have to just get in on a roll. So I still think we're winning division, but you really don't have to. They were not that good of a team. They haven't they've done nothing since then. So they caught lightning in a bottle.
That's what that was. Like they say in the hood. You got in on a humble.
Yeah.
You got in on a humble.
And I'm jealous because it's been since 1995 since we have a Super Bowl, and I'm tired of having to defend my team to anybody.
Amen on that one.
Yeah, exactly. It's been since, and you're like, yeah, well, what do you want me to do?
I agree with you on that because, I'm the youngest of 5, and I'm the only Cowboy fan in the family. And
I'm still here.
I got a brother who's a Steelers fan. I got another brother who's a Tennessee Titan fan. I got a brother who's a 49er fan, and I got my sister.
I got one we could shove down Philadelphia fan.
She's an Eagle fan. So
what's that?
I got one we could shove down those Eagle fans' throats. They are 1-3 since that Super Bowl in the playoffs.
Did they win?
All right. Wait a minute. What playoff game did they win?
No, they haven't won a playoff game.
Or did they beat Chicago? I think they beat Chicago. They beat Chicago the year that we beat Seattle.
Yep.
Did you guys watch the playoff game last year? It was embarrassing what happened to them last year in the playoffs. It was like, why bother? So, Philly, look at last year's playoff game, brother.
Oh, but they'll say, but we weren't expected to make the playoffs, though. We were playing with house money, is what they're saying. Yeah, Cowboys, Cowboys were expected to us. Like, oh, Lordy.
Not to mention we had all these injuries that we couldn't field the team right.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
No, their quarterback shit the bed is what happened, and he was choking. Is what he couldn't handle the pressure.
He can't throw deep. That's his problem.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem right there. Yeah.
He can't throw deep. He's an intermediate passer at best.
He needs to scramble a lot.
Hold up.
Yeah, Philly. I don't know.
You know what, Mark?
Hold on.
Philly is doing all this
Justin
because
Jefferson's ass.
What is your problem? What is your problem, man?
What's my problem?
Why you keep look? Any other time, I never hear from you. I don't see nothing on Father's Day. I don't get a Christmas present. All the last 3 days, I've been seeing more garbage from you. What is your problem?
I'm not sending you garbage. I'm sending you Jordan Davis.
Mark.
Philly.
That is beautiful.
That is beautiful. Okay, so you're not worried about jinxing, son. Every time you've gone through and you have claimed that the Eagles were, God's greatest gift to the world, and that they're going to win everything, you know what happens.
I've made no claims. I just think
Dallas puts a 50 burger on.
Philly, I'm looking at it right here. We're the best team in the division.
That's not a big deal. The division stinks.
Philly, you do realize that you got your ass beat by us twice last year, right?
Once.
You got your ass beat by us twice. On the record book, listen, on the record books, what does it say? 2-0.
Oh, listen,
2-0. That's what it says. The Dallas Cowboys won 6 games in the division. How many did the Eagles beat to play against the Cowboys? How many?
Wait. How far did the Eagles go compared to Dallas last year?
You went the same spot we did.
Same spot.
But at least we didn't get embarrassed in the playoff game.
Wait a second. You got it.
We lost. We lost. You got embarrassed.
Oh, you choked with 14
See,
seconds.
even he believed in it. He said we choked, so he believed in us too.
So what you're saying is you believed in the Cowboys, that the Cowboys were a good team. Is that what you're saying?
I believe the Cowboys should have been able to win a home game in the playoffs.
Did you think that Green Bay should have too?
Yes.
And guess what? They did the same thing the Cowboys did.
But who cares? But we're talking about Dallas.
We can only talk about Dallas.
But your stadium.
We're talking about Dallas.
We're talking about Dallas. So you backed into the playoffs and got your ass handed to you, and now all of a sudden you claim that you are the best team in the division?
We're the most improved team in the division.
Yeah, but you had a long way to come to get up to to where we are.
But if you look at it, right, the only question we have is quarterback. We're better than you on the outside line.
Oh, just a quarterback. Well, hey, Nick Foles is out there. Nick Foles is out there, Philly.
They better keep Nick Foles away.
I'm going to get on the bandwagon of Nick Foles, man.
No, we don't want.
Hey,
Nick
how about
Foles.
how about we bring him in as our backup?
You didn't see when they
that was
Oh, that'd be funny.
You better keep Davis away from the cheesesteaks.
Yeah, Philly.
This is like a Cowboys delusion set.
This is we're delusion. Listen, I'm not saying that the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. Are going to win the division.
We'll still be better than you.
You guys
Wait,
put division third.
Philadelphia cream cheese.
Maybe we can make them
Philly. You know what? I'm just saying, son. It's better if you're humble.
Congratulations.
It's better to be humble instead of to be arrogant. Like, oh, we were the best team in the division. Oh, I'm telling you, you're writing checks, son.
I think that is very humble,
son. You're writing checks that you're behind can't cash because don't let Jordan Davis end up being a bust because I'm gonna pull the clips back.
You mean
if nothing else, Philly, it's going to be fun.
I'm just saying, but you know what? There's a lot of guys that I wanted that all of a sudden you find out, damn, I'm glad we dodged that bullet.
Mark Holmes was talking about every day.
I was. But you know what? There's something about the Philadelphia and that stank that's up there that destroys players.
Unfortunately for you, we have a very good history with defensive tackles.
Maybe.
So I think he's going to be okay.
Okay.
Skunks, Mark.
All right. But you still have a question at quarterback.
Ridgeway's going to make a quarterback his bitch.
That's fair.
Who's your backup?
That's fair. We do have it.
But you can't get Nick Foles.
We got Gardner Minshew.
They got Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
Is he still there? I didn't know if he was still there.
Okay. All right.
And then you
AJ Brown
drafted.
But your quarterback can't get him the ball.
Well, that's what we're going to find out, right?
Yep, that is.
That's what we got to find out.
Philly, all I say is,
ladies and gentlemen,
Let's get ready to rumble.
Have a nice Sunday, son.
Justin Jefferson back on
You too, Dad.
Peace.
I'll try to get some very.
Trust me, man. I have a lot of
nice
friends
cookies.
that are in Philly and Washington.
Kiss my grandkids. Good night.
Giant fans.
All right.
Lots of trash talking.
Okay.
Where you at, Phil?
Okay.
I'm in Florida. We're
All right. So we had our Philly 500 chat there.
Stretch.
Eagle fans are feeling themselves right now. You can't tell them that they're not the best team in the division right now.
When they would win one game, they were feeling themselves in the season, and they would talk, and then then they disappear, and then so
Like
we
I
should hear
said.
from them for the next at least until the beginning of the season.
It's good business to shit on the Cowboys, whether you're
any team.
Colin Cowturd or whoever, you're Stephen A. Smith or Philly 500. It's good business because we are the most popular team, whether they like it or not. So I like it when they think they're good because it stings more when we beat their ass.
We're the most liked and hated team.
Yeah,
I guess so. Okay. All right. We're coming down the home stretch here. And final
There
thoughts.
he is.
Mark, don't you think they needed to add some running back depth though? Because
we did sign.
played hurt. And
Yeah, we did
I
sign
don't know why.
Mhm.
Why didn't he just get well?
I think we need to go back to the
Can't get
big
rid of
I
him.
formation.
It's going to cost you $18 million to just get rid of him. So that's why you just put him on the roster. But I agree, Linda.
Last
You
year,
definitely need some depth.
why didn't he just stay?
On the sideline?
I mean, why didn't he just stay on the sideline and recover from his injury instead of continuing to try to play through it?
Because I don't know that
would
they
have been
knew
ready
that.
for the playoffs if he'd done that.
I don't think
I
they
would-
knew that he had it.
I wouldn't have blamed him. I would blame the coaches for doing that to him.
He
Yeah,
should have been on the sideline. He should.
yeah. Zeke should not have had to made that choice, but
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the fact that McCarthy told Dak to go and sit down and do all that stuff during training camp, I think he should have done the same thing with Zeke.
Joanne Gonzalez got you covered. Thank
do we
you.
all remember that they were leading the league in rushing after week 4 or 5?
Mhm.
They were number 1 team rushing the ball.
They were doing a lot of 12 personnel then.
Exactly.
Okay.
And a healthy running back. And don't forget that we got Pollard in on a contract year.
Mhm.
Now that we had our draft. And
Which
we got
I
a lot
don't
of
think they're
buys,
going to sign him to a big contract.
But they have a lot of money to extend people now.
Yeah, they
so
do.
They
Well, there
might
was a-
throw him something now. They might.
There was a
And-
time last year when both the top two running backs were hurt. Why didn't they get anybody? Nobody.
Well, they had Clement.
They had Clement.
Which
I
I
think
don't know
by
why
that
they
point-
didn't resign.
Yeah, they had
They're
a couple
still-
of people. And they had
They're
the guy
still
from
good.
Atlanta
They
who
need-
signed.
They need a quality running
Ito
back.
Smith, right?
Ito Smith, yeah.
They got the Harvard running back.
Rico Dowdle's a good running back.
I like
so
Rico.
I know.
Rico.
Yeah, I mean,
Didn't
I
they
think
have a guy that got hurt in training camp last year that was pretty
Yeah,
good?
Rico.
Yeah, Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that after this year, Zeke's contract, not that I want to get rid of Zeke. I love Zeke, but
more-
it might have to be done.
Yeah.
It's
Then you
more-
can walk away after this.
Yes.
year
So
and be able to save money. Yeah.
So Pollard might be around Mark. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, you might get to re-sign. Yeah.
I don't think he's an every down back. I'm on record saying
I
that.
think he's a complimentary back.
He has to be. He's not the greatest blocker, but damn, is he good?
He is.
I say this though.
They can use him as a running back too. I like Debo.
The only way
Yeah,
Zeke,
I see
the
Paulo
only
like
way-
I see Paulo like a Taysom Hill. That's how I see him.
Mm-hmm.
the only way Zeke will stay is if he have one of those 1,500-yard years this year.
He's not staying. They're not paying him again.
Well, they might restructure him though.
They would probably restructure.
They would
contract.
do like they did with D-Law.
So he can,
Restructure his
just so he
contract.
can stay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they
exactly what'll
restructure
happen.
his contract.
Mm-hmm. Well, not restructure because that's still keeping the same money.
same thing
But do
as,
like they did with D-Law and just make a new contract and say, okay, you want to finish?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what they would do. They would redo his contract,
Right.
Like they did D-Law.
Yep.
Yeah, and then give him his bonus ahead.
Yeah,
they need to start putting incentives instead of all this money.
But hold on. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna defend Zeke a little bit here because when the Cowboys were able to open the holes before Tyron Smith got hurt, before Dalton Schultz got hurt, Zeke was eating up. Zeke was looking. I mean, he wasn't gonna break one to the house. He was still doing great work in there, and his blocking was good. He did get injured. The offensive line went bad. If the offensive line can get anywhere close to where they've been in the past or like the start of that season, Zeke Elliott will get 1,200 yards. And if you get 1,200 yards out of Zeke,
that's Memphis ball.
then you're actually saying, okay, that's good enough.
As a matter of fact, Zeke was something like second or third before he got hurt.
Yeah, he was on. Yeah, he was one of the top three.
He was leading the NFC in rushing at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be content though, even if he did 800 and Pollard 600. I'll be content with that.
No, you need a lot more than dude. We need to get closer to 2,000 yards on the ground.
The fact that he did what he did with his injury.
Got you covered, Sugar Daddy.
Well, putting in some guys now with blocking capabilities, I think that's really gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going to all of a sudden have a breakout season where he's, Jamal Anderson or anything like that. But, I think, he can definitely get up past that 1,000-yard mark with ease instead of, struggling a little bit.
Oh, he can do that with ease.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's holes in
as long as Kellen Moore don't get cute.
Can I be real, man?
Be real.
I think he needs to cut his hair. I think
be more aerodynamic.
Haircut and watch. All of a sudden, he's 1,500 yards. You're like, damn, that was it. That was the hair.
That was it.
Yeah, are you
Marley
talking like
Greens.
Samson and Delilah here? Cut the lock of hair and he'll be great again.
Yeah, he needs.
I think cutting the hair ruined Samson. So I don't know.
I was gonna say, didn't he get his power from his hair?
Yeah, cut the hair and he gets his power. There we go. Let's do that.
I'm telling you, though, an offensive line, if the offensive line can open up some holes.
That's what it's going to be.
And if we start using 12 personnel, I'm telling you, this offense will be able to rock and roll. You'll prolong Dak Prescott's career and longevity because you'll be able to do more play action where you're getting them rolling out of the pocket and you're going to end up having numbers that are on your side. You'll be able to run more because the defense is either going to be, trying to cover the wide receivers or they're going to try and put 8 men in the box. You won't be running against the 8 men in the box. You're going to be going quick hitting stuff on the outside. Yep. So, to me, that's the way to keep the team healthy if you've got the offensive line.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting this year to see how things play out. How good was the draft class?
Mm-hmm.
How good is our unrestricted or undrafted free agents? Will they see time? Things like that.
Right.
And can we get rid of the bad blood throughout the preseason? Cut the people that can't really contribute to that.
Yeah,
mentality.
With these moves now, you look at free agency totally different now after a draft.
Yeah.
We'll think about the talk before it,
Exactly.
and what we needed to do. And now with these free agents, even with the undrafted free agents, adding all these guys kind of changes everything. Do you feel like you need that interior line guy now? Do you feel like you need to try to bring in a tackle? It's like you don't have that we need to bring somebody in anymore. Maybe
what you look at now is where you can actually improve a position even more. If there's guys that, if you look at it and say, we know that the LSU linebacker probably is not going to play this year. If there's a linebacker out there that you look at and say, okay, yeah, we can bring in a guy like that's a little more experienced in the rotation, then that's good. If you can still bring in, because we have rookies, they look good on paper, but doesn't mean that they're going to look great on the field that first year.
And we can't have that sophomore letdown either.
Yeah. But on the plus side, we look at the guys from last year that actually got some experience, the Goldstons, the OCs, the Jabril Cox, Kellen Joseph, if he's still here, that you hope to be playing a bigger role this year. So, as much as we look at this class being for this year, this is where next year is the year that you look at them really taking off.
Well, even bringing back a guy like Jaron Curse to help teach all these young guys Dan Quinn's defense. I mean, bringing in something like that's a big thing as well too.
Well, it's not actually. It's just about everybody from because from Carlos Watkins, of course Van Der Esch, Terrell Basham. These are all guys that were free agents last year, but at least they were able to hang on for this year. And Gallimore and even Tristan Hill. Yeah, although Tristan Hill is probably not going to make it on the roster.
Yeah, it's exciting now. I would say it's exciting because I'd rather go and with all these young guys. It's very exciting.
Unpredictable too.
There's nothing more frustrating than to have these older, high expensive veterans that you've given up the picks for, like an AJ Brown who's always hurt. I love him, but let's face it, you just gave him $120 million or whatever.
Yeah.
It's nice having young guys because it's very frustrating to put this veteran team out and then all of a sudden you don't do what you got to do, and then what? Then you're in the purgatory. So I'm ready to roll here. Hopefully they can add a couple more little pieces because there are a lot of free agents out there. And let's go.
Amen. Van Der Esch struggled some last year, but in the playoff game, in the 49er game, he flashed over and over and over. He was like more impressive than just about anybody else.
I thought he had a good year.
He played better in the second half of the season after Jalen Smith was gone than he did the first half of the season. The thing that it looked like for at least the first half of the season, like the way he was tackling was not to get hurt. Like he would be scared to sell out, really get his head across the body and really wrap up on guys. But it seemed like he had more reckless abandon in the second half of the season.
Yep.
That's that's a perfect, example. We have a high-priced guy that we're kind of still paying for. Now we got young guys. It's exciting. But you did see Smith go to the Giants, and what did he do? He didn't do anything. So he's done. It's a shame, but he should be happy that Jerry
Green Bay and then New York.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right. But he should be happy that Jerry took care of him when he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, the Cowboys always take that risk. They figure that we're playing with house money on the second round picks, that if they have a problem, and if they do, oh, well, we lost the second round pick, but you could end up getting a stud. And that was the hope with Jalen Smith. It just didn't work out. Hopefully, Kevin Joseph.
I can't believe they're keeping the second round pick they got last year. I don't.
Kelvin Joseph.
Yeah, well, we don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, they said already they're going to let the NFL and everything decide on that. They're not going to discipline and let the NFL do it. They don't plan on
Oakland cut a guy last year that.
Well,
the
he's in jail.
Video with some guns. All he did was post a video.
But it was beyond. He did some other stuff too.
No, I'm thinking of the receiver.
The receiver, but they also. It wasn't just the video.
Not that guy. The guy that posted the
video.
With the gun saying, "If you're going to come over here, come on. I got."
But they didn't cut him originally on that one. But he did something else on top of it. It was like, okay, yeah. Then after the second incident, they ended up getting him.
Yeah, that's the old Jimmy Johnson move where they cut the guy that's falling asleep in the meeting.
Yeah.
If Troy Aikman would have fell asleep, I got news for you. He wasn't getting cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said he had. Had some issues with some deadly weapons too. That had something to do with it too.
Yeah.
Well, you think murdering a guy is a little deadly weapon?
Well, I mean, he didn't do it, but I am with you in the sense of knowing for a month and not saying anything. I mean, I'm with you on that.
That car, he was.
Well, Linda, you're arguing what we all agree on too.
You're talking about you talking about Henry Ruggs, okay?
Yeah, Ruggs was drunk driving, going 130 miles an hour, and ended up running into somebody. So yeah,
let's not forget that these kids are young, very, very young.
Yeah,
they hang around with the wrong people. Let's see what happens.
They don't move on all the way. They bring them with them, and
I mean, let's just be sensitive to the situation, and let's hope that he's not going to be in trouble. Which I think we all agree that he'll probably miss probably some time with a suspension just because of his involvement.
Yep, exactly.
Well, they said that all of last year he was a problem, with
See,
the
and I
team.
think
The
and that's what
maturity
I was
as
saying
well.
when he got
It
drafted.
wasn't just that incident.
He's
It
young,
was,
Linda.
Yeah.
Very young. Very,
He wants
very
to be a
young and
rapper.
immature.
And maybe he'll get scared straight here. But
Yeah, and then plus the guy, he's number, I think he's number 22 or 23 years old. So technically he's still a baby.
Like we were talking about, like over the weekend, if there was social media back in the day, Linda, Michael Irvin, Eric Williams, a lot of these guys would have been out.
Yeah.
You would never have saw their careers. I'm sorry to say, but the White House, have you ever heard of the White House?
Yeah.
There was a house that was built.
Cocaine and the prostitutes.
Yeah, there was cocaine, prostitutes all night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 61 years old. I remember all of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hate to say this, but it's 6:30. We've been on for an hour and a half, and we got to get ready to roll up out of here.
It was a fun day.
It's Sunday. Well, it's Sunday evening.
Good times,
y'all trying to get me divorced?
I know.
I
have to go spend some time with my honey too.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah, Troy, it's your wife's birthday, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Let's
see?
spend some time with her.
So yeah.
Missed you yesterday, Troy.
Yeah, we had a family.
We guessed some ones though. We guessed some of them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, let me say I appreciate everybody being here. This was definitely more enjoyable than when we've had to vent and talk about how bad Stephen Jones is. He's still bad, but at least we feel good about having some shiny new pieces on the team, and we'll see how they start fitting together. They'll be in the next few days or so, beginning to get their physicals and everything else, and OTAs and things are going to be right around the corner. So we definitely have a lot to talk about. And so everybody get final word real quick before we get out of here. Brian Green.
Listen, it was a beautiful weekend. I had a wonderful time. I hope that, we helped you, Mark, because I know it's
definitely
rough. So with that being said, I guess I'll see you guys. I'll tune in tomorrow night, right?
Yep. Jason Renfro.
Y'all have a good weekend, and happy Mother's Day for all those lovely mothers out there, and have a good night.
All right, Troy Daniels.
I'm excited about this season. Looking forward to seeing what these draft picks show us and what these rookies have to contribute to the team. I'm really, really excited about it.
Mm-hmm. All right, primetime Phil.
Man, I'm like when we were going along with it. I mean, it just you knew what positions they needed. It seems like they knew what positions they needed. Once you kind of look back at the film, man, again, I'm happy with the picks. It's like it's hard to look at some negatives in it, but obviously people will say, well, because you're a fan, you automatically love all the picks. That's not really what it is. Each one has its downside, but a lot of it upside, and that's what part I get excited about. Is like they fit this team.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you couldn't, a lot of these teams, they may have gone to another team and been good, but I think they fit what they need to do here in this roster. And so I don't feel as bad about the free agency. I still want to go out there and get some guys, but I'm ready for some training camp, and that's still quite a ways away.
Yeah, you amen on that one. Thomas
I hope to
Garrett
collaborate with you guys. Seriously, though.
Thomas.
Yeah, I'm happy about the draft. I'm happy happy about our draft choices, and I'm glad we did what we did the other night and yesterday, and all I just got to say is if we can just pick up Anthony Barr, I'll be satisfied.
There you go. Okay. Vado, how you doing, Vado?
I'm good. I got a question. Do you think that you're going to do more high up this year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely happy about the draft too.
Do you think that you're going to do more high up this year?
I think Dak is, the thing that I feel good about with Dak is the fact that he's healthy and working out right now. I think that's going to help us tremendously in the season. For him to already start getting talking with our new receiver and stuff a couple of weeks ago, I think that he's going to definitely take a step forward, Vado. Appreciate you being here. Marley Greens.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I know I came in late. I just want to say I think we had a productive draft. We picked the people we needed. And last note, man, I was in a hospital all day with my wife, so pray for her, man. She was having trouble breathing, so I'll be headed there probably in a couple hours. I appreciate the camaraderie and everything. Love you.
Wish her the best.
Yeah. Rock.
wish her the best.
What's up, Rock?
All right, so I gotta agree with Primetime. You know, I like all our pieces, how they came in. I did a lot of research, and I was like, okay, now it makes sense. But Primetime hit it, I think, in the button right there. I'm glad. Like I think we did a great draft.
All right, and Stacy.
Well, I enjoyed the last days with all of you in the Zoom meeting and in the live chat, and I am a little more optimistic. So. Again, I'm waiting out. I get find out what Mark and a couple of other guys say about the guys that we picked up. So I'm a little more optimistic.
Okay.
Good deal.
Blue Virus, your mic's muted. Okay, I'll go.
Thank you, Blue Virus, for the follow today.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna go into Linda. His mic is muted, but see if he'll come back
everybody
there.
go check out
Linda.
Primetime Phil's page.
There you go.
Yeah. I like it when they just stick and pick. I don't like it when they give up a lot moving up and just stick and pick. That's what I like. But Mark, thank you so much for the weekend. You offered
Oh, I appreciate it. I enjoy
over the weekend.
You know what? It's not a day if I don't get to spend some time with you guys. And be quite honest, over the last 4 days that I've been doing these live streams and stuff, and especially with the Zoom in calls, these are fun and definitely something I want to continue to do in the future. So everybody, I appreciate you guys, and we're going to end, of course, with the Washington Commanders. I think that they have the division.
You got Commander Wentz there.
Washington Commies.
More like Washington wannabes.